And in the ministry, we are busy now changing our policies, our regulation, our laws, because of the new ideas that have come and which are very important. That is circular economy, and you realize that why we are going this way is because, like in waste management, where we have already finalized the policy, our country has not been doing well on waste management. And so everywhere you go, there is a heap of waste somewhere, even in our residential areas. If you look at the trucks that carry the waste, they look quite, they don't look nice because they are old and not the type that we want for carrying of waste. And the waste itself is mixed. And even in our houses, we have mixed waste. And so for waste management, what we can say is that what we see is uncontrolled dumping all over the place, mixed waste, even at home. If you look at that waste, it is dirty. And that is why you find very many variables in our waste, even the dump sites. Why is that variable waste there? It's because it is contaminated. So there is minimal value recovery from our waste. In some instances, we are running below 10% recovery of that waste, recycling, very minimal. And if you look at the requests by counties at the moment, because they are the ones who are mandated by the Constitution, Schedule 4 to move waste from our estates, the kind of requests that they make are for more trucks and even more land for dump sites. And this is not forthcoming because out there people do not want dump sites near their place, near their backyard. And so many counties have very tiny, very tiny waste management facilities. And then the areas where you have waste, we have the scavengers, we call them these good people who collect the valuables, whom we call the scavengers. Of course, a bad name because they help us to recycle the waste, they help us to recover the waste. And in most cases, those areas are insecure areas. And you also find our waste is burning. So there are a lot of greenhouse gases that are generated there, and the dump sites are normally on fire all the time. And then we have leachate, which is emanating from there, and a lot of land degradation. So you see there are a lot of problems. And so based on that, we have just finalized developing a policy on the same, and we were asking ourselves, what is it that we want? And we are being assisted by science, and science shows that in Kenya, the waste that we produce is 60% organic, and including food waste, and then 30% are recyclables, and then the others are 10%. And so you find that there is there is a lot that is valuable in our waste. Actually, even within the 10% others, you can still recover 5%. So only 5% of our waste should go to a dump site. And so we have mapped the future that we want, and the future that we are looking forward to is where there is a lot of reduction in waste generation, a lot of reuse of our waste, a lot of recycling, and very little, 5% actually disposal. So we already have the percentages of each type of waste, and we are familiar with where we want to go. And so we are against the business as usual. What is happening currently, we are not happy with it. And we would like to see a circular economy in place where we redesign our processes, we manufacture in a way that is, we manufacture things that can be recycled. We also make sure that we reuse, we repair. I mean, we extract maximum value from our waste. And only a small fraction should be incinerated or sent to the final disposal sanitary landfill. And so what we have done as a ministry is we now have a circular model in our policy. Actually, our policy has a diagram where we are really emphasizing on waste segregation at source, proper collection and transportation. We are also insisting that we want to have material recovery facilities where our waste will be further sorted, and then the valuables will be sold. Our waste should also be composted. So we will have composting facilities. We will expand our composting facilities. Currently, we don't have these composting facilities. The recent research that we have done with the Kenya Bureau of Standards shows that we have only 4 composting companies in Kenya, and those are very few. The ones that have compost to the end, that means they have a mark of quality from Kenya Bureau of Standards. They are only 4, and those are very few. We also want to do recycling so that the whole process is circular. We have also mapped our enablers for us to achieve circular economy. We need new institutional arrangements because, like, when you talk of a composting facility, a recycling facility, you know, you are talking of different kind of facilities that are some of which are new. We need financial mechanisms, a lot of capacity building, a lot of education and awareness, especially to make sure that we succeed at waste segregation at the local level. That is so critical to us. The informal sector, we have to encourage them. They are doing very good work. They are going to places where the elites cannot go to pick that waste and make sure that they handle it to present it to the recyclers. We have to do a lot of waste reporting and audit, starting from the facility level to the county to the national level, so that we use that data for decision making. We have to involve to address issues of gender, youth, and vulnerable groups, a lot of research and knowledge management with our institutions of higher learning, and a lot of collaboration and stakeholder participation. So what has motivated us to move this way is that the aspect of circular economy is actually a need now. It's not an alternative. We need it because we cannot continue wasting our valuable resources. And we are sure that we will continue to generate more waste. Our statistics show that everybody generates half a kilogram of waste every day. So whenever the population census is done, like now we are 47 million, then you need to divide that by 2, and that is the amount of waste that we generate every day. And that's a lot. And if we waste all that, then we are wasting resources. And we are also losing jobs, we are losing money, we are losing livelihoods, we are also losing innovation. And so we would like to keep materials circulating in a high value state through the supply chains as long as possible. And so the ministry is quite motivated to enter into this discussion on circular economy. And our motivation is communicated loudly by the kind of policies that we have developed. We have a sustainable waste management policy, and we have a sustainable waste management bill. These 2 documents are currently at cabinet level being discussed. They have already passed the the committee stage, and now the documents are supposed to be tabled in the full cabinet. We also have other documents like the e-waste strategy, which is also circular, embraces circular philosophy. And we have a new regulation that is coming up, the extended producer responsibility regulations. This is a very important regulation because it advocates for every producer. In this case, a manufacturer, an importer, a distributor of a product, they are supposed to be responsible for their products, including packaging. And so once the regulation is in place, we are going to see many companies coming up, producer responsibility organizations, and these producer responsibility organizations will manage specific wastes, and there will be a lot of jobs generated, a lot of investment in waste management, and definitely some of the discussions we have left to the private sector because of the diversity of products that we have. There will be a discussion about the life cycle analysis of their products, because that will determine also the pricing of the waste management when they engage the recyclers. And so if you bring into the country some product that is difficult to recycle, difficult to dismantle, difficult to process, then you pay more. And so so our discussion is, our emphasis is that we have to think, everybody has to think in a cyclic manner. This discussion about circular economy, we have already done it for waste management. We are taking it also to wastewater. There is a new initiative that we have mooted with the assistance of the World Bank, and we want to develop a policy also on wastewater circular economy, and also relook at our water quality regulations to make them circular. So when you look at what we are doing, we are guided by the elements such as designing for the future. Whatever we are doing, we want to design strong frameworks that will help this country to progress the future without wasting resources. We want to preserve and extend what is already made. So let's not waste. We want to prioritize regenerative resources so that we make sure that our resources can be reused, recycled. We want to use waste as a resource. We want to rethink our business models. We want to promote more collaboration and creating joint value. So those are the elements that are guiding our shift in circular economy. So in other words, we are considering what we consider waste as an opportunity. A lot of public awareness, mindset change is one of the benchmarks towards our success. And so we would like to promote mindset change through public awareness, to think for everybody to think circular, where products are developed with their end of life in mind, so that they can be recycled or repurposed completely and with no residual waste. And as I said, we want collaboration. The waste we generate multiple types of waste. And so we need to collaborate with different recyclers, different players, so that our waste is handled in a better way. And in this case, therefore, an institution must adopt systems thinking in terms of the whole value chain of the kind of waste that they are generating. So that is what we have in our policy, and we have also mapped the benefits that we will get when we migrate to circular economy, and this will help us to reduce pressure on the environment, improve security of supply of raw materials. So we have our raw materials will be secure; they will not be wasted. increase our competitiveness as a country and our institutions. We will stimulate innovation, which we need very much. We will boost our economic growth and create jobs for our people. Right now, that waste that we have, we are wasting in our dam sites, those are jobs, that is money, and that is not good for us. So the way forward for the ministry is we would like to fast track enactment and implementation of the already finalized policies. So we are pushing for the enactment as quickly as possible. We want to focus more on market development for valuable fractions extracted from waste. So we would like to see that there is market so that we also stimulate the recovery of the valuables from the waste. We also want to engage in massive public awareness for behavior change, especially to succeed at the household level, segregation of waste so that we produce non-contaminated waste. We would like to focus also on development of how to handle the last 5%, which must be disposed in sanitary landfills. So the national government will engage in development of sanitary landfills, and we will do a lot of monitoring, evaluation, information sharing, and application of the lessons learned. So we are ready to learn from our experiences. So the government has started implementing this policy, and everything, our boardroom discussions are now reoriented towards a circular economy. Thank you very much.